So I just watched this movie the other night, and when these events were unfolding in real life, I didn't follow them honestly too closely because I was in the thick of grad school and preparing my thesis. So it was really interesting to see the fictionalized version based on real life story, sort of Big Short-esque explanation of what happened during this time. For those who don't really know about what happened, essentially they're big hedge funds that constantly bet against companies to fail. And so basically what happens is you can do something called shorting their stock. And when you short the stock of a company, you're essentially saying that like this company is going to do bad and I'm betting against it. And because of that, like if I'm right, then I'm going to make money. And so a group of coordinated people on this Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets, led by this YouTuber called Roaring Kitty, who was just this like everyday guy in Massachusetts, basically pumped a bunch of money into this stock as a coordinated citizen led effort to pump up the value of the stock as kind of a big FU to these hedge funds. Because as the stock went up, the hedge funds that bet against the stock are then losing money. I believe one of the hedge funds permanently went out of business, but at first it received billions of dollars in assistance. I found this story really interesting because I really love like collectivist solidarity movements. And it was really fascinating how when all of these people through Wall Street Bets and like through the app Robinhood were all putting together their small amounts of money, driving up this stock and then allowing all these people to essentially make a lot of money because as the stock price drives up, their small investments are exploding exponentially. Robinhood essentially couldn't cover the withdrawal rate because people were trying to then withdraw the money as they rightfully should be able to do. And Wall Street people manipulate the price of stocks all the time. So then what Robinhood did is they took away the option to buy or take out money, garnering a ton of well-deserved criticism. And then the stock, which had been inflated by this group effort, tanked because of Robinhood and Wall Street's actions and because of the bailout money to this hedge fund, which then caused all of these everyday people who had like banded together to lose tons of money unless they had withdrawn before the stock crashed. I definitely recommend watching this film. If you know me, you know that I'm very much like a power to the people kind of guy. I think that the way the system is set up is incredibly unfair, especially because so many people are born with inherited wealth that through compound interest makes so much money that requires them to like never have to ever be in the daily positions that so many of us are, where our student loans and all of these things make our lives like incredibly precarious. And I would advocate for a world in which universal basic income makes it so that nobody ever has to worry and that we have free college and free healthcare. But I just think this movie is interesting because I think this moment in time, I hope that it happens more often. Like, I hope people band together to make sure that the benefits of these unfair systems go to the people, the everyday people who are being screwed over. And I hope we have another Roaring Kitty, other people that lead people to be able to make money to take care of themselves in this way and hopefully in a more sustainable way. But regardless of the complications with that guy, like he taught so many people about investing through his channels. And it's actually really interesting, like the impact that he had on people's lives. Some people, really dislike this guy because they ended up losing their money in the end. But some people made a ton of money, like some everyday working people, some college students who needed to pay off their debt. Like they were able to do so because this guy like directed them towards this like short squeeze opportunity. Definitely go watch The Money if like none of this is making sense. But yeah, I just think it's really fascinating and I would love to talk about it more.